What is up, fight fans? We are back for another episode of The Real and the Rare. I'm your host, as always, Steven Rychel. Joining me today is the one and only Damon Feldman. For people who don't know, the CEO, the founder of Celebrity Boxing, and he's also ventured into another combat sports promotion that he's launched within the last year or so. So we're going to be talking about Damon about all kinds of stuff in the combat sports world today. First and foremost, Damon, appreciate your time this afternoon, my friend.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me on, Steve. Looking forward to it.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure catching up with somebody in the combat sports world. We all got our little stories where we came from. I always like to hear a little bit from everybody. But as we kick this thing off, this episode is brought to you by Fight Wax. Fight Wax is the ultimate skincare product for all our active lifestyles, and it helps treats cuts, swelling, scrapes, and abrasion, rejuvenates and restores stressed skin. Customers have used for soreness, stiffness, and recovery, designed for athletes of all active lifestyles. Provides an ultra silky, non-greasy feel, deep hydration for everyday skincare. Helps dry skin. Customers have used for eczema, psoriasis, and other skin disorders. Make sure you guys are checking out the soap that is coming out that they're going to be launching soon. And as always, guys, when you do get over there and you go to your checkout, make sure you're using that code South15FW when placing your orders. Damon, my friend, you're always a little bit mixed into a little bit of everything. Obviously, long time it's been celebrity boxing, but over the last few months, we've seen you concentrate on another aspect of the combat sports. Would you launch the Xrumble championships? What made you start this new brand?
Basically, just the fight world so saturated right now. It needs different faces, new products, new brands. So I'm creative. I came up with a couple different things. We have some big announcements coming up, and we're doing the number one fight in influencer business in the country right now. So it's really cool, man. Just giving everybody opportunities. That's why.
Listen, man, you're absolutely right that it's everyone's doing a little bit of something now. Obviously, Mike Perry's dirty boxing is starting to get sanctioned in a lot of the different states. You got sanctioned in Pennsylvania a few weeks ago. They just announced that DC's doing it. Obviously, that's a different form of boxing. Obviously, what you're doing is also going to be a little bit different. I mean, yep. Coming from that celebrity boxing world, is that you obviously are going to have some interesting characters involved with what you're going to be doing moving forward.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's not just MMA. They're fighting with MMA gloves, but right now we are doing, I do boxing. We do Xrumble Boxing, Xrumble Sports, Xrumble, the fighting championships. Is going to be with MMA gloves, stand-up striking. We're probably going to launch that in the fall, though. Right now, we're sticking with Xrumble Boxing. Still doing the celebrity aspect because that's what got me here. But that's where we're at right now.
Hey, listen, I'm definitely interested in seeing that. Obviously, when as you're talking about it, the content creator world, is definitely kind of taking over. I mean, look what Jake Paul's done over the last handful of years on, I guess, bringing a different type of feel to the boxing world.
Yeah.
People love him, people hate him. My biggest thing was with him is just, he was picking on guys a couple weight classes below him, guys that were significantly older for him. Massive respect for him in this last fight, taking on Anthony Joshua. I mean, obviously outclassed on several different levels, but hopefully he continues to fight guys in his weight class, in his age range, because I think that's the only real deterrent that I really always had on him. I mean, I think as a promoter, he absolutely knows what he's doing, and you just seen with the MVP Promotions MMA announcement, over the past month. I think that they're going to do well with that. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. I mean, he has a good guy behind him, but he's smart. He knows how any fighter that gets to the top, you build it with the right fighter. So he did it not fighting boxing. He fought MMA guys because MMA guys can't box, and that's basically the way it is normally. No, most MMA guys. So he did it. He had a strategy with it, build it up. I've been doing celebrity boxing for years, but he took it to another level with doing it more as a professional sanction. Now we're sanctioned. Now we're starting to do it a different way. But listen, the guy's a smart guy, man. He had a good run. He'll do some more fights. I don't know how much longer he'll last. I mean, he's already been exposed now, so it shows really it depends on what he wants to do and how far. I don't, maybe another 4 or 5 fights I see him lasting. Maybe he's more of a business guy now, so you can see it the way
I
he's
agree
getting
with
into business. So
I agree with that. I think he does have limitations, and to like his respect, I guess I would say this much: when you have your amateur fighters who were fighting the level was when you're cutting your teeth trying to figure out who you are as a professional boxer, to what he was doing. That's the only thing I'll equate to that. Yeah, he's
yeah,
obviously, I think we kind of figured out who he is as a fighter. I have to sit there and tear him down, but
right.
there's a reason why they say there's levels to this, and I think in that last fight he figured out where his level is.
No, absolutely. I mean, there is levels, but there was a guy that had no amateur fights, and he did a pro thing. He stuck. He's very dedicated. He's a smart business boxer. That's what it is. You got to know how to do it there. Most fighters don't have the credentials he has with the social media, business mindset. And Jake Paul made it a different world. You know what I mean? And that's all there is to it. I'm the first.
Now you obviously Xrumble's the thing you're doing. Are we going to see more celebrity boxing from you? Over the next year or so?
Yeah, well, April 25th is sort of, we have the really big TV reality star, social media influencer fighting. We also have Floyd Mayweather's sister making her female boxing debut, a bunch of others. The whole Mayweather family is going to be in the house. Yeah, it's really going to be really cool, man. We have like all the TV show. It's called The Baddies. It's really big on the Zeus network, and most of them are coming and they're promoting it. And one of their stars is fighting, so it sort of is celebrity boxing, but it's the Xrumble name now. And I'm always going to come up with somebody who wants to fight, and they're going to reach out, like what Shaq did, or whoever wants to do it. I'm open to it if it makes sense.
Exactly, and obviously you're talking about some of the stuff that you're already doing. You got Jeff Mayweather coming down. You got some fun fights
Yeah,
on the card April 25th.
yeah,
So
yep,
yeah,
yeah. It's gonna be
how
really
excited
cool.
are you for that one that you guys are putting up there in Chester?
What's that? Say that again.
I said, how excited are for you
Oh,
this event that you guys are putting on in Chester?
well, very excited. It's my hometown area, Delaware County, and I do stuff all around the country, and it's a national brand. But I love being able to wake up and 20 minutes I can get to the arena. It's a lot easier, man.
Is it always going to be Chester? Are we going to get you down to 2300 the arena anytime soon? Or is it Chester
Yeah,
your home base?
no, I did 2300 arena in September. I mean, it's a good place too. It's thing is, we already sold out, and we have other arenas. We're trying to do the watch parties. That's selling. That's all going to sell out. It's all about the branding and building, and I'm looking to do Xfinity Mobile Arena. Probably within the next year. I have a new combat sport which I'm going to announce. After this fight that's coming out. It's going to be really badass.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because you guys are always doing something. I mean, obviously, you guys announced the reality show with you and your brother
Mhm.
that's coming out. What should people be expecting from that? That you've seen from other combat sports reality shows.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see what the difference between me and my brother is, and it's kind of going to be there April 14th. I'm going to be there. He won't be able to make it in Fort Lauderdale, do an unveiling of it with Christine Curran at the Savor Cinema in Fort Lauderdale. We're real excited. But the difference is, look, I'm a real fighter, man. Like, a lot of these people are doing business, stuff like that, and they've never been smacked in the face. And I hate to say it that way, but, I'm 9-0 as a professional fighter. I fought in the amateurs, but my record, yeah, I build up. I fought the right guys, but I did that work in the gym. I fought, spar world champions, things like that. We're real fight guys. My dad was a boxing legend, trained several world champions, and we know everyone. They know us. We have a story in itself. Our mom, quadriplegic in a wheelchair. Two fighters raised us. Two African American fighters raised us. We know the culture. We know the people. We know just life itself. You know what I mean? So what you're going to see is two guys that hit heads, but they get along, and we have respect for each other. But we do separate businesses. So what you're going to see is like a fun show and show how we grind every single day to never quit, never surrender, to make things work. And that's what people have to understand. Nobody gave us shit. You know what I mean? Like, we worked our ass off for 20 years making all this stuff work. We stay in shape. I train every fucking day. I don't, I'm tunnel vision, man. I don't care what anybody says. They can talk shit about me, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to say it to my face. So it's all BS and it's all talk. I'm all about business. I don't care what anybody says. It's all about, at the end of the day, what the numbers are.
You're right about that. We're in a different age. Anyone who's got anything to say to you, they always say it from afar. No one's ever going to confront you and say, whatever is that gotten up their butt, and they don't like you for whatever BS reason it is.
Listen, it's not about, because I'm going to beat most of the people. I'm not being arrogant. I can fight. You know what I mean? But it's more about, you get talk about the shit, but you're not going to. When I see you face to face, you're not going to out-talk me. You're not going to say all this stuff, because it's easy to talk over social media and put people down. It doesn't matter. Like, I used to take offense to that stuff. I was like, damn, my kids are going to see this. I don't give a shit now. Like, you can say anything you want about me, because I've already proven who I am. I already proved I'm a success. So that's it.
Listen, I don't disagree with you. I've gotten into it with so many people over the last 10 12 years. Someone has something XYZ to say. I had a fighter do a written article in like the New Jersey Times, because I basically told the guy who was fighting that he doesn't have a gas tank. I had people like, you need to issue an apology. I'm like, why? Is it untrue? I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not supposed to be I'm not writing. If I'm a member of media, I'm not doing interviews or writing them just to do a puff piece to make you look good. That's not my job.
Right.
That's your promoter's job to go and sit there and pump you up. And I'm like, I have to be neutral. So I had your opponent on, and I said something that was real and legit. Well, he wound up beating the kid, but as his career progressed on, you found out, guess what? He doesn't have a gas tank, exactly like I said.
Well,
But I mean, like,
if people don't like the truth, and they should stop promoting who they are. Then, you know what I mean? I like the truth, because if I'm not doing well, I want to know my mistakes so I can do better. If people want to be what they call pampered and just lied to, if you want to lie to me, then I think you're a no good motherfucker. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
no, listen, I'm the same way, man. If I'm doing something wrong, show me, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Seriously,
if someone's
I respect you more for, like, listen, you need to fix that. Like everything, you do this great, that great, whatever. But I want those real people around me too. Like, listen, you could be better at this. You could do this. I want them people to test me and push my boundaries to make, because how else are we going to grow and be better?
Listen, if you're secure with yourself, it doesn't matter what say. I could say, Steve, man, this show stinks, this and that, and it
Dude,
doesn't.
I've had people tell me I'm fake media. I'm like, wait, how can I be fake media if I'm doing real interviews?
No, of course. I mean, you have a good. I like the way your show looks. Your structure is really cool. But the bottom line is, like, it doesn't matter what anybody says. Who cares? I'm on your show. I don't do a lot of shows. I like your story. How you help your mom out. It means a lot. Anyway, you talk facts. So I'm enjoying the show. So I'll be on it.
Listen, dude, I really appreciate that, because, like, dude, a lot of people, like, just like I know a lot of people don't know the grind that you go through. Not a lot of people don't know, like, my story and what I go through. But I don't sit there and go out there, and I'm not begging people for helping me with this and doing it. I seen a media guy was, like, basically opened up a GoFundMe so he can get to the next level. I'm like, that's what sponsors are for, dude. Like you begging your friends and family to support your
Right.
media. I'm like, listen, we all go about it the way we go about it, but like, I don't want a handout. I want somebody to, if they want to help me, I want, be a partner.
No,
Help me out that way. Like, I don't want handouts. Like,
no,
I
I
don't,
hear
I
it.
don't want
I
to
hear
do
you,
anything for
man.
free either.
Listen, when I started this, I was begging people for the sponsor me, not money, but I was, I was going for a sponsor, but I was going to give them something, a little name here or there.
Yeah,
No one, not one really helped me. Some people did, but it was more, they didn't believe in it. And I knew this thing was going to blow up, and it did. And it took time, man. You know what I mean? Everything takes time, and it doesn't matter what anybody says because it's not their dream, it's yours.
exactly. And, as you said, it takes time, man. Like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Nothing gets built overnight, and it,
No,
it comes for a while. Like, and we were just talking about your brother. Like, how crazy is it at this? Because I remember covering his XFE events when he was in the area
yep,
before he went down to Florida and all that stuff. Almost 10 years ago. I
yep.
remember having conversations with him. He said how he was going to start BKFC. How proud are you as a brother? Just seeing what Dave's accomplished in less than 10 years with that sport.
No, well, because I saw the grind. I saw when he tried this, and he put it together in a little gym. There was maybe 50, not even 20 people there. They were filming and stuff like that. And he had his goal. And, I have a lot of respect for him. He's an inspiration as well to me. I'm sure I'm an inspiration to him. But watching him build this, and you know how many no's he got? You know how many no's we both got? Like,
I'm
it's not going
sure.
to work. The athletic commission wanted to do it. But guess what? Now the athletic commission's begging for bare knuckle because it's making the state money. And that's what it's all about, a state athletic commission stuff. But there's a lot of people that want to try to do things. They just don't have the experience or think it's, oh, I have money and I'm going to do this, or it's an idea, I want to do it, but you don't want to put the work in. We put the fucking work in, man. We did it from day one, grind, blood, sweat, and tears, reality wise, and really fought. So the bottom line is you have to have experience in this business. You can't just think, oh, I'm going to come out because it's an idea, and because it's an idea. If you don't have any experience, that thing is not going to work. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, you might have money, you might work, you have a couple of events, but in the long term, experience is everything. You can't buy experience. That's the bottom line.
There is no amount of money that can buy out experience, and that's not that's a real thing, man. Especially when it comes to combat sports. I mean, we've seen it in just in the MMA world over the past 30 years or so. Like, it doesn't matter if you have money. We've seen so many promotions come, go, fail. After 3 events, you don't hear from them ever again. It's ridiculous. And the UFC's only survived because they ate all their competition once they got some momentum going.
No,
So
100%. I mean, listen, Dana White, even listen, you can't, what are you going to say? Oh, he's not good. But the bottom line is the guy made it happen. He had the investors that did it. He's not a fighter, but he talks like a tough guy, all that. But listen, the guy did it, man. What are you going to say? There's no, what are you going to say? Oh, he should have done that. Should have. You can't say shit. The guy has showed he made it into billions. You know what I mean? So that's it. And then he has people are mad at themselves when they're talking shit about people. That's all there is to it.
listen, like, and I don't even think any promoters 100% like they're pulling all the right levers. Everyone makes a lot of mistakes to get to where they're at. Dana made plenty of mistakes to get to where we're at, and I think for a lot of time, for the better part of at least 15 years, he got it right. He was pulling all the right levers, and
Yeah.
gotten that company to where they are right now. They got that big deal with Paramount like that. That's not something that happens overnight nor by accident. So
And look at the dreams come true. Perfect example. Joe Pfeiffer, good guy. I
oh
always like
man,
that. What a
last
one
night
life.
his comments last night got me too.
Yeah, man. And I know him, not like we're good friends. We know each other. I did his podcast too. He had a podcast.
Yeah, him and
Last
Brady
year.
got a podcast. That's right.
Yeah, it was him and Sam Orpiz, but Sam works his corner. I know Brady. I met him once, but yeah, it's just look at that, man. That was phenomenal, man. Like Joe Pfeiffer, he's on top of the world now, man. He's one of the faces of UFC right now.
Yeah.
After last night, like he just beat and made it look pretty easy with the world champion. You know what I mean? Like, so that's all there is to it. I think he knocks out Sean Strickland too. Sean Strickland
I
does.
think so, because I remember, I forget who he was fighting on the local scene, but I mean, that was like everyone's talking about like what happened to Macy Barber last night. We've seen Joe do that on the regional scene almost 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And like, and what I got the graphic here, what he said after the fight, that, the mental health struggle that he was going on just a few weeks ago, not months ago, not earlier this year, a few weeks ago, that, he was contemplating on taking his own life. But, that belief in God that strengthened himself, seeing him through the situation and stuff like that. And it's always something I want to talk about is, I don't think in combat sports they give guys like Joe enough credit when you speak out about the mental health issues in men, because we don't have a lot of avenues or people we could trust to kind of have those conversations and not be used against us.
Hey man, been there, drinking, almost ruined my life. You know what I mean? I spent 13 months in jail, and if I didn't do that jail time, I may not have been here right now to help me out, because man, I was depressed. I was low, but I didn't know how to tell people or talk to anyone about it. So I did it myself, got in some crazy situations, DUIs, crazy situation with an ex-girlfriend, like just almost ruined my life, man. And but it ended up fixing my life. So I went into jail depressed, lost, came out, what they call tunnel vision, so focused. I didn't care about anything except for doing this right job. You know what I mean? But I hear you, and I'm a big guy on mental health, because you don't, people might act stupid, but then I'm acting like, what's wrong with this guy? Like, if someone's acting like that, and a woman, there must be something wrong with them. You know what I mean? But getting back to Joe Pyfer, man, like, he's sort of like a real Rocky story, man. If you see his real like background, I'm just proud of the guy. We know each other. I'm more friendly. You know what I mean? I guess we could say friends. I like the guy. Proud of him. Sam Warpisa did a phenomenal job supporting him. Brady, I guess, was with him. Just unbelievable. The Marquez Gym in Philadelphia really helped him. That's where he trains. Joe Pyfer, man, it's crazy, man. Because I'm a Delaware. Are you a Delaware County guy?
I mean, I was born in Montgomery County and then came over to Philly. But I mean, I try to support anybody from the tri-state area. Anyone that's in or around Philadelphia, Jersey, Delaware, that whole area. I consider us one whole unit.
Yeah, well, it's just he's a Delco guy, and it's really good to see Joe Pyfer what he did last night, because I was talking to me and him had the same physical therapist. This guy Mike Quinn, and we were talking and just discussing like, man, who's going to win, and it was evened up. There was no favorite last night. I think it was an even bet, and I was this close. That's why you always bet on yourself, and I didn't do it. I was going to bet 2,000 on Joe, and I'm an idiot. I didn't do it, but damn, I was happy, man. I was just really happy to see Joe win it, man. He deserves it.
We talk about this now, like how much you're just talking about the betting side of it too. Like, isn't it crazy how much over like the last not even 10 years, like 5 years, how much the betting world has completely changed?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, you can bet on anything nowadays. It's crazy. I mean, you're betting on sports entertainment. You're betting on wrestling now. Like, it's crazy.
I find that the wrestling part I find crazy. I really do, just because if you know about pro wrestling, you know what it is. But even more so is like when you get you can bet on like wrestling as well.
I got it. What you mean, rack?
Yeah, you got it. Wrestling.
No, the RAF wrestling.
Yeah, RFA.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. I saw Dylan Dennis got beat last night by Colby Covington.
AKA not surprised. Dylan Dennis is, I guess, the most, in my opinion, one of the most toxic guys in the combat sports community. Yeah. He's got his good side, don't get me wrong, but like he he's the spoon that stirs the pot sometimes.
Well, honestly, he's not good for sports, man. I'll be honest with you. Like I seen him at one of the bare knuckle fights. You know, he said hello to me, whatever. All due respect, but it's just seeing a guy who's wasted, drunk, he couldn't even walk. I was like, it's not a good look for professional sports. You know what I mean? And I just I don't believe in that. You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't either. Like when we see athletes getting involved in altercations, like ringside at events,
Yeah.
it's one thing to kind of, you come across somebody you're supposed to have a fight with, and you guys have a heated discussion, and then when there's the times where we've seen stuff like even Dylan Dennis has been involved in multiple times that he's gotten into altercations and full out brawls at fights.
Yep. Yeah, he's just he's a wrestler. He's never been a real fighter. He's never been a UFC guy. He's never did any type of real combat sports. He did wrestling. So I don't consider him a fighter. I consider him honestly a wrestler. Like he's a grappler. That's all. He's not a real fighter. He's not even in the league of a pro fighter. Not even a chance.
I don't necessarily disagree with you there.
Can you imagine him in a boxing match versus Joe Pyfer? Joe Pyfer would knock him out in one round.
I mean, he'd be in a cat stuck in a cage with a lion, so to speak.
Yeah. I want to see Joe Pyfer fight Sean Strickland. I think he knocked Strickland out within 2 rounds.
We got to see if Sean gets that belt. What is it? Is it August?
Something like that, yeah. But that fight, I think that fight's coming. I'm not a UFC fan at all.
I stopped following it just because they're not like, and it's not like that I'm not invested with these guys. It's just they're not producing the stars like they were like through the first 10 years of the Ultimate Fighter. There was always like 5, 10 guys or girls coming out of those shows, and you were invested with. You wanted to see how their fights would, all of that, from, obviously the first show had so many different guys that were either world champions or fought for titles and things of that nature. But like as it went on, it just became some guys, and I don't know if it was maybe the UFC didn't invest as much into promoting or building the fighter A or fighter B up, and it's just they're just athletes now. They're not they're not the characters or the fighters that we fell in love with when the UFC exploded.
Well, yeah, look at even McGregor. He went over to bare knuckle, and that's why my brother is bare knuckle. It's really taken over because UFC is not when the people saw it, it was more like it's like a hockey, right? It's different type of sport. Like it's really for a certain demographic because in UFC you don't see. It's not the baddest man sport anymore. You're not the baddest man wrestling around. If you could take a punch on the face or chin and keep coming and get your face busted open like Mike Perry does, then you're a real fighter. That's the way I look at it, man.
I'll say it like this. I've been sitting there saying for the last few years, Dave has been kicking the UFC in the teeth the last few years as far as growth, as far as popularity, as far as the popularity as we were talking about in that demographic. And it's not just like they're this niche thing that's going to disappear. I don't think that is, because I think the average man or woman who enjoys combat sports, the sport in itself resonates with what we want to see. It is the closest thing you get to a real fight, so to speak. The UFC has a lot of guys or girls that are point fighters, and they're just trying to win the round and do just enough to win the fight and get another fight. There's nowhere to hide when you do that with what Dave's built.
Well, also, who else who's coming out to destroy Dana White is Jake Paul. He has a big MMA card put together. It's not new talent, but it's better names now. He's putting the names in, and he has the name, and he still has a Netflix deal. So he's going to be a real big competitor to UFC, without a doubt.
I agree, and I think as everyone's like talks about Ronda and she's this polarizing purpose, love her, hate her, indifferent about her, whatever. But what she's been saying isn't wrong. That that it's about shareholders, it's about dollar amounts, and even before they made the fight with Perry and Diaz, that Diaz had a conversation with the UFC and that they didn't want to meet his demands money wise. It's the same conversation that they had with Gina and Ronda before they went over too. They didn't want to pay them. And it's been an ongoing thing. And that's going to my next point with the fighter pay, with now the fact that the WNBA has a new CBA, their starting salary for their athletes is more than what the UFC is.
Wow.
In a sport that has a quarter of the fans that the UFC has, they have a problem on their hand, and it's of their own making at this point in time.
But the craziness is they have billions behind them. I just don't get it. I don't know, man. I mean,
I'm not telling you should be throwing your money away at all these athletes, but the fighters that performs and then also gets butts in the seats and people excited for the event, you should probably take care of them. I mean, the fact that the names that we just mentioned, Rousey, Carano, Francis Ngannou, Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, all these guys are fighting on an MVP card. All could have very well been on a White House card or an International Fight Week card under the UFC. Is an indictment to their business model.
No, 100%. I mean, look, Jake Paul never really liked Dana White anyway because of because Dana White saw him invading in his space, and Dana White, you're a king of all this stuff, but you never boxed, you never really fought. You got to give credit to Jake Paul. He's fought. He does train. I know his trainers and all. So I don't know, man. Like, listen. It's crazy. It's all something worth the talk.
It's crazy how the combat sports world has completely changed in the last 5 years.
Big time.
I mean, we're at the point UFC's done with pay-per-views. Everything's on streaming it now, and that's the kind of thing that we're at, and that's one of the things I've heard this rumor. I don't know if it's true, nor do you have to confirm or deny it, but do you think your brother gets on a major a major network, Fox, CBS, NBC, within the next 5 years? I know they have a deal with the Zone for the next few years as far as streaming goes. But do you think that at some point in time over the next few years, we do see bare knuckle on that larger stage?
Absolutely, because it's ratings and it's what people want to see. It's sort of like the development. They build it up step by step. Now people are thinking, am I going to give this a shot or not? But the truth is, it's going to be almost they have to do it. I mean, they're already showing crazy fights on. If UFC is the most dangerous sport, then why isn't bare knuckle on it? So they're going to have to give it a shot. And once people really, really see it, because everybody knows about it, then it's going to be the change of it. It's coming, man. Like, and again, it's all about paying your dues step by step. And Dave's already doing. He does 35, 45 shows a year now. Like it's steps, months away. It's going to happen.
Listen, like I said, I think what Dave has is great. But what about you, man? When are we going to see celebrity boxing on ESPN or Xrumble fights on ESPN or something like that?
Well, we were on Fox years ago, but then they stopped it. I had a long-term deal. Right now, I'm working on some new sports entertainment combat sport with some cool people. Got some cool, new people involved with me, and we're going to release it soon, man. I'm really excited about what we have planned out here. It's sort of safe, but a little bit brutal, but safe and wild, and it's gonna be a talk of the internet.
So now I got to stalk your social media for the next month or so and see what winds up coming out.
Hey, you never know, man. You'd be a good commentator too, I think.
Listen, man, I have no problem with that. I love talking, so I need a job. Dave, hook me up, brother.
Yeah, have you ever like hosted a show? Like I know you're hosting your own show, but like being sort of the Jim Lampley is what's really important. But you have to be on point with TV though. But you'd have a director, but it'd be pretty cool to have like someone that knows how to lead the show like a Jim Lampley. You know what I mean?
Listen, I don't think there's ever going to be another Jim Lampley. He was
right.
Probably the best of the best when it comes to what you were just referring to. Like he he had a way to just get the touch on not just the event, but the fighters themselves, the stories behind the fighters. Like he was an encyclopedia right there. Like he was the internet in his head before there was an internet.
Sure. No, he's great. I'm just saying, someone like him, like Lampley is definitely a legend in this stuff. Like remember Larry Merchant, Jim Lampley. Like Lampley was one of those guys, knew how to hold the show down, everything. You know what I mean? But you need to get some people like him. That's what I'm looking at right now.
I'll put my hat in the ring, so to speak.
So our next fight's on Triller TV, but once this other company comes out, I think we're going to be getting a lot of TV opportunities.
I'm looking forward to it, brother. I love what what you're doing, what your brother doing. Looking forward to that reality show that you guys coming out.
Yeah,
I think you got a lot of good stuff, and then you also interject another side of it into the music stuff and everything like that. Like what made you start to kind of mixing all those areas of entertainment together?
I don't know, man. It just happened. We're starting working with hip hop performers, and they were fighting guys like Peter Guns, Cisco Rosado, Rich Dallas, and even Coolio fought for me once. But then it all leads to like music because you always need a walkout. So we give people their chance of being a walkout performer, walk fighters out on television. It gets them their 15 minutes of fame, and we have a lot of packages to help people out. They get their 15 minutes of fame.
Hey, listen, I think when we're talking about combat sports, there's just several different layers to it, and I think music is always going to be a part of it. Whether as you were talking, you have Coolio. I've seen videos you did with Trench and stuff like that. Like getting people like that involved, and also not just with what you're doing, but the event itself. I think it's that's something you can't put a price tag on for the spectator, maybe someone who's just in the crowd because one of their friends or one of their family members are fighting, whatever. It's that rare experiences that you're also giving them.
Definitely. And me and Tretch, we have something planned. I was with him the other day. So man, that guy's a legend, man. The music and down with OPP. What's the other song? OPP and
Feel Me Flow was one of the ones they had. That was a pretty cool song. They had a bunch of they had. I mean, some of these artists like you always want to go look at their discology, musicology, but Trench was also in acting for a while too. He's got several different hats on, so that's why I said it's cool when you get those guys involved because there's so many different things you can have fun with.
Hip Hop Hooray! Oh, that's something. I love Trench. He's my man. We're excited. We got something we're gonna shoot out there soon. We're just getting into all the paperwork. I got some really cool things coming up, man. I'm real excited about that. So
I mean, even that you even had gotten Terrell Owens involved too. Come on. How do you get some of this stuff? Get in contact with some of these guys to get them involved. You just know who their management is.
Just knowing people, connections. Who knows who? This person knows that person. And I've been around. You know what I mean? So I can walk in any door, not being arrogant, but. And also you got to pay these guys. They're not coming for free, but use them to host events, stuff like that. It's all strategy. You know what I mean?
It is, brother. Like I said, love what you're doing. Love what what you and your brother been doing. Looking forward to some of the announcements. As we're getting down to the last bit of this month, I'm asking everyone this month. It's March is Brain Injury Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And, obviously this is something, you can't always predict which athlete is going to have issues with this. What can we do better? I think, the athletic commissions are kind of having their hands tied with some of this stuff. I like what Dave's done with some of the stuff with, X amount of losses in a row. They won't sign you to stuff, a certain age point that they cut you off and stuff like that. And then we even seen it with what Dave did with Zach Kalmus over the last few months. Zach was, OG, he's a warrior, all that other stuff, but starting to see patterns of how he was acting, and it was like, listen, I was talking to somebody about this, and there's always good money to be made off of athletes, but when you're making money off somebody's blood and you just see them as a person deteriorating, you have to put your hand down as a promoter and be like, listen, I can't be a part of watching this man or this woman's downfall, and I don't want to be a part of it. What are things you would like to see implemented that could maybe help the athletes from themselves? Because we already know, like when we come to combat sports athletes, some of these guys or girls are the toughest SOBs that are walking this earth today, and they would sacrifice whatever they can to be able to perform, to go out there. Because let's be honest, when they're going out there, it's not just that they're fighting. It's like almost like an addiction, like a drug. The adrenaline rush you get from going out there and performing in front of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, is a bigger high than probably most of the drugs you can get on the street. So, what do you think it could be done or should be done to kind of help protect them from themselves?
Well, you just got to monitor them. You got to see if they're getting hitting the head too much in training. Then in the fights, if a guy had back-to-back fights where he took a lot of headshots, you got to let that guy take a couple-year break. You have to. It has to be done. There's no sense of these guys get punch drunk and all. I was luckily, I was 9-0, got injured outside the ring with a neck injury, but never got hit a lot in the gym. You know what I mean? And you got to live right. You can't drink. You can't do drugs. You can't be getting hit. We got to live a clean life. And you just got to make sure it's all about the blows to the head. If they're getting hit too much, it's time someone has to step up and say, look, they can't fight anymore. And that comes to the athletic commission. If they're seeing that, they got to say, you can't fight anymore. You know what I mean?
I agree. That's why I said between promoter and athletic commission, there should be some more dialogue to protect the athlete from themselves. And I think if there's a situation where the promoter was like, listen, this is why we're letting them go, that these are the reasons why, if they're flagged from a promotion and or athletic commission, it should be all over the place. If you're banned from an athletic commission because, X, Y, and Z, it should be like that across the board, that you shouldn't be able to go and just, okay, well, you're not going to sanction me here. I'm going to go to this state or that state, and they're going to let me go.
Well, they have the ABC, and they have to do this as a national thing. If a guy, again, it's all monitored. If a guy gets knocked out hard or gets hit with some big bombs and goes down, gets up, or just took a beating in a fight, the guy can't fight for at least 6 to 8 months. You got to let them rest, come back. If a guy's going to continue to get hit, it has to be a law. You're not allowed to even start training and sparring. You know what I mean? You train is good for your body, but you can't get hit. You just can't get hit overall numerous times. And again, it's experience. You got to know when to tell a guy to stop, and he can't do it. He just, you got to let people know. If a guy's trying to go after his goal and dream, and someone's saying you can't do it, then I would tell them, oh, F you, I can do anything I want. But if you're taking blows and too many punches, that's when you have to say you can't do it,
Yeah, and that you said one of the things, I said that one of the things you should probably reduce as you're getting older as an athlete is that hard sparring, because that's something that can't be monitored and checked on. Only you, the gym, and the other guys in that
trainers have to. A guy is not a trainer unless you understand what boxing is. I don't want to hear you're a trainer and you never had a fight. You did all this. You're not a trainer. You could be maybe a personal fitness trainer. You're not a boxing trainer. If a guy takes too many punches and you're the trainer, you got to know how to monitor that and say, look, man, you got to take a couple days break, or we're not going to spar till next week. You got to let the guy have a break. Trainers, that's what real fighters and real trainers know.
And the real trainers in this world are few and far between, unfortunately.
Very, very true.
So, last one before I get ready to wrap this one up, and it's the one I like to ask everyone. We hear this phrase that goes around all the time, the GOAT, we hear it in football and all these other sports. And I think particularly in combat sports, it's one of the hardest ones to kind of really say who's who and what's what, just because there's so many different variables to it. There's guys from different eras. There's guys from different weight classes. There's men, there's women. There's multiple different sports in the combat sports world between boxing, bare knuckle, MMA, right? So if Damon Feldman is putting together his own Mount Rushmore of combat sports athletes, who's on your Mount Rushmore, Damon?
Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard. Let me see. I mean, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, and Muhammad Ali. But, as far as when you say, like, who's the GOAT of it all, you got to say Floyd Mayweather. The guy speaks well, came out, smart. They say he doesn't have money, and he has money. It's about how you really did it. So it's like, you're not just a GOAT because you're a great fighter. It's about who's the greatest fighter and did it all right. Coming out, he speaks clearly, well, smart guy, didn't get hit. That's where you got to see who the real GOAT is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree with you sitting there saying, like, all right, like how he just filed for bankruptcy. Well, what did he file under? Because I'm pretty sure if he filed under it, it's to protect his assets, not that he's actually broke.
Floyd has money, man. Don't get it wrong. The guy's a smart guy. He didn't work all that time and doing it.
Yeah, he's too smart for that, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I got the whole Mayweather family coming on April 25th. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, you got Jeff coming, right? So that should definitely be interesting.
Jeff's the referee for the main event, but we have Floyd Mayweather Sr. coming out. He's not doing that great because some health issues, but he's coming out. He's gonna support because his daughter's fighting.
Yeah,
so he's real excited about that.
That's cool. Going to have multiple Mayweathers there is another reason for people to come out April 25th.
Well, we're sold out right now. You can't come now. We're oversold, but you can watch it on Triller TV.
Listen, however you get him get his eyes on the event is a good thing, my friend.
Yep. Yeah.
As I wrap this one up, what I typically do is kind of throw the proverbial microphone over to you, Damon. Anyone you would like to thank, anything you want to give some shout outs to, any parting words for the listeners this afternoon. The time is yours, my friend.
I just thank all the support from everyone that been through this journey with me and my family, my kids, and guys like you giving me the shot to come on different shows. I never say no to the right show. I like your story. Just everybody supported, man. Shout out to all my sponsors, people. Major things are coming.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, Damon. Like I said, whatever you got going, I always try to pay attention to, and appreciate the love today. Appreciate the time today, my friend.
Yep.
We'll definitely catch up soon over the next few months, and have a great event, man. Hopefully, I can make it out for that one.
Sounds good, Steve. Thanks for having me on, my man.
Not a problem, Damon. You have a good one, my friend.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. That was Damon Feldman, CEO and founder of Celebrity Boxing, Xrumble Fighting Championships. Big event April 25th at Harrah's in Chester, PA. If you guys haven't got a chance to check it out, go grab some tickets, please. Head over to the website. Go grab some tickets. Go support your local combat sports promoter. And always fun time catching up with the guys in the area who are doing big things. He's got a lot of stuff going on in the works behind the scenes. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of announcements wind up coming from that. But other than that, another fun one here in the books on the South Florida Tribune this afternoon. Appreciate everyone that I was commenting in the chat. Real and the Rare, another great episode in the books. We're going to be doing a lot more fun stuff over the coming weeks with the interviews that we're going to be doing. I got a fun interview lined up for the fan in the end this week, as far also along the lines of our Brain Injury Awareness Month, even though Wednesday show will be April 1st, not in March anymore, but kind of giving it one last little hurrah there. Again, appreciate Damon's time. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'm Steve. This was another episode of The Real and the Rare. I'll catch you guys on the rebounds. Peace out, my friends.